Hi, my name is Sue Caesar. I am a parishioner at St. Ignatius Church, and I've been asked to talk about Loaves and Fishes. Loaves and Fishes began in 1986, and St. Ignatius has adopted this ministry for about 12 years now. And I wanted to take a little time, just a few minutes, to tell you about the ministry and to invite you to be a part of this terrific experience. The mission of Loaves and Fishes is to provide a nourishing meal to the homeless and poor of Baltimore City and an opportunity for fellowship among the homeless patrons and the ministry volunteers, trying to understand and live out the gospel challenge of Matthew 25, "When, Lord, were thee hungry, thirsty, naked, or in prison?" On an average Saturday or Sunday night, we go out to the streets and we look for people living in doorways, behind cardboard boxes, on steam grates, and we visit the missions and we offer a cup of hearty soup, sandwiches, oranges and bananas, hot chocolate, and coffee. As such, the mission is a non-profit entity, very ecumenical in nature. On Saturday nights, we include 2 private schools, 3 Baptist churches, 4 Episcopal churches, and St. Mary's Seminary, who cook the soup and who make the sandwiches. On Sunday nights, the entire ministry, all cooks, all shoppers, all food providers, and all servers come from St. Ignatius Parish. And we are inviting anyone and everyone at St. Ignatius Parish to get involved because we need you. I'd like to introduce you to Amy Petkotzek, who runs the entire Sunday ministry at St. Ignatius Church.
Hi, I'm Amy, and I'm very glad to get an opportunity to talk to you about Loaves and Fishes. I got involved with the program about 9 years ago when I was a law student here in Baltimore. I joined St. Ignatius Church because of the Loaves and Fishes program. It was similar to something I'd done at my Jesuit university. And on one of my very first nights out on the van, I was just a regular team member on week 2 on Sunday nights. And I was chatting with a gentleman who we were serving on the streets, and he mentioned it was basketball season, and the college he had gone to, St. Joseph's, had a great basketball team. And I told him that's where I went to college, and we continued chatting. And he told me how he was a lawyer who had fallen into alcoholism and lost all of his clients and his family, and that he had gone to law school up the street at the University of Maryland School of Law, which was where I was at that point a student. So I found myself faced with a man who went to the same university, the same law school that I did, and but for the grace of God, he and I were in different places that night. And it made me very committed to sticking with this ministry, no matter how busy my career as an attorney became. And now I find myself leading it here at St. Ignatius. And while I'm very glad to do so, I want to let you know that we are very much in need of extra volunteers, whether it be someone who can simply shop for the food ahead of time and doesn't need to be here actually on Sundays, or someone who can help chop up carrots, or someone who can actually go out on the van or even drive the van. We have so many different opportunities for once-a-month volunteer chances year-round. It's amazing to see the fellowship that happens when the food is prepared. We have many parishioners that meet each other for the first time on Sunday afternoons when they gather at 2 o'clock in the parish hall, and they form a long assembly line to make all of the sandwiches. Children as young as 5 or 6 years old help by putting the mustard and the mayonnaise on the sandwiches, and then other parishioners sit in the kitchen together and catch up on their careers and their faith lives while they chop carrots and celery and onions and make sure that the soup, that's very hearty, as Sue mentioned, is very well prepared to go out on the streets. We then have other parishioners, and we invite parents to bring their children along if they're 12 years or older, and those parishioners go out on the van starting at 4:30. And not only do they stop, as Sue mentioned, around the city, but at each stop they have a different experience as we meet our guests on the street, and we share just a moment of fellowship and faith with them. They very much identify on Saturday and Sunday nights that it is the St. Ignatius van that is driving around, and that this is really a team effort. We expanded this to be a year-round effort on Sunday nights 2 years ago. And St. Ignatius did provide on Sunday nights throughout the last 2 years a summer program where we did year-round ministry. And in the summer we switched to bottles of water, lemonade, mozzarella sticks and granola bars with the sandwiches and fruit, and we bring the soup back for our winter season. But there was a great demand year-round here on the streets of Baltimore, and such a need for volunteers to help with this mission.
As Christians, we are about finding Jesus, and Jesus loved the poor. Matthew 25 makes it very clear that what we do for the poor, we do for Jesus. Jesus welcomes the poor at the table, and in many ways, Loaves and Fishes is a movable feast. We drive down alleys and streets, and we yell soup and sandwiches, and regardless of how modest the meal is, people come. And conversation unfolds. Conversation that ordinarily would never occur begins to unfold between the server and the served. And the amazing thing about it is that when we are involved in God's work with the poor, it is difficult in the end to see who gets the lion's share of benefit from that evening. Over all these years, 28 years of going out in the van, many nights I may never have wanted to leave the warmth of a fireplace, but never have I gone out and not known that is where I needed to be and was so grateful to be.
So to join us in this truly important mission, please contact us. Our emails are at the bottom of the screens. If you're interested in volunteering on the Saturday night program, please contact Sue, and contact myself if you're interested in volunteering on Sunday nights. Whether your teenagers are looking for community service opportunities, you're a parishioner at St. Ignatius who's looking to become involved, or a member of our greater community at large here in Baltimore, we welcome all volunteers to join us in the Loaves and Fishes ministry.